was shot down in a humiliating display. Knowledge among the elite that Lord Galde loves to play twisted games. As a phoenix, who ranks highest among all the beast men, whenever he collects 10 canaries, he will hold an elimination game. Canaries are slave girls who are doomed beast and thus transformed to be one of them. That's how Lord Galde provides them with such a chance to transform and reborn. Canaries kills and fights to death. Some may die. Those who survive the game advance to the next round. Whoever wins all 100 rounds will become his mate. And Clarissa happened to be the one who made it to the 99 round. She was ruthless enough to play through all his games without uttering a word. The gaze of Lord Galde fell upon Clarissa. The gaze grew increasingly admiring, till it could no longer be concealed, and Lord Galde started to bring her to the court with great fanfare. Then the duel day befell. Clarissa's victory seems to be secured. But things were overturned.
Fifth bullet in the gun is a live round.
I'll remember that.
Hearing this, Clarissa felt as if the game had already begun. She watched as Rebecca received the cheat code and fired second, her heart clenching suddenly. As long as she kept playing, she was bound to lose this round.
Riza, my little canary. Do you want to keep playing? You know too well that in a game like this, I'll make sure you win.
As soon as the words left his mouth, a wave of suggestive cheering erupted around them. Those leakin lords around whistled, their eyes darting between him and Clarissa, their tones teasing.
I won't concede. I want to play.
Interesting. Let's get this over quickly then. Risa, I'm looking forward to using our new toy with you tonight.
How ridiculous! The deep affection. Clarissa's heart felt as if it were submerged in ice water, numb with coldness. The next moment, she took a deep breath, said firmly,
I'm prepared.
Soon, everyone was in position, and the game began. Clarissa drew the first card and picked up the revolver, pointing the barrel at her own chest and gently pulling the trigger. It was a blank. A collective sigh of relief filled the Colosseum. Some even began placing their bets.
It was Rebecca's turn next.
The girl's hand trembled slightly with fear, yet she pulled the trigger without hesitation. Another blank. With another 2 blank shots, the revolver returned to Clarissa. Her heart began to race with anticipation. Her body trembled uncontrollably, her eyes welled up with tears, and her vision gradually blurred. The slip of paper that had been drawn first had also been deliberately arranged by Lord Galde, with the sole purpose of making her lose. At that moment, Clarissa's heart leapt into her throat. She stared intently at Lord Galde, waiting for him to call a halt. But he just watched quietly, a faint smile even playing at the corners of his mouth, making no attempt whatsoever to stop this unfair game. Second by second, time ticked by, and Lord Galde's brows twitched.
Risa, don't be afraid. You'll definitely be the winner in the end.
Clarissa gave a bitter smile, then finally, with trembling hands, aimed the gun at her own chest. The bullet struck her chest with a thud. Although the specially made rubber bullet wasn't lethal, the pain was so intense she could barely breathe. Rebecca faked a scream in shock.
I'm so sorry, Rissa dear. I didn't know it would be like this.
Lord Galde slowly stood up.
That's fine. I'll keep my promise.
No sooner had the words left his mouth than he bent down and picked up the startled Rebecca, cradling her in his arms. His movements were steady, exuding an unquestionable dominance.
You've let me down, Risa.
It wasn't until his figure disappeared through the doorway that the tears welling up in Clarissa's eyes finally overflowed. Clarissa wiped away her tears, picked up a wine glass left over by the lords, and drained it in one gulp. Once outside, she clutched her aching chest, and with trembling hands held back a familiar guard who was heading for Lord Galde's castle.
Tell Lord Galde I'll be there in 7 days, at his mating ceremony.
After returning to the private room that Lord Galde made for her, Clarissa took a deep gulp of laudanum. Having gone through the game 99 times before, her body had long since grown accustomed to pain, but now, it hurts more than ever. She stared blankly into the portrait. At the time, she had asked him smilingly if this counted as breaking the rules of the game.
It's my game, and I am the rule. You will always be the reason I break the rule.
With a cold sneer, he stood by and watched as she, like a clown, was shot down in a humiliating display.
I carried his illegitimate daughter onto the small stage.
Babe, where's our baby?
As he asked Wendy, I picked up the microphone and said in a voice,
Dear, your bastard is right here in my arms.
Jenna, congrats! I heard you and Ethan just had a baby girl!
I was thunderstruck. Because of work separation, I haven't seen my husband for a year. She didn't notice anything was wrong.
I'll definitely be there this weekend for the baby's welcome party!
She waved the invitation in her hand.
Look at this design, right?
I forced a smile and took the invitation from her, trying to look calm. In the father section, I saw my husband's name, Ethan Walker. In the mother section, Wendy Foster. I didn't know this woman. I memorized the hotel address, then handed the invitation back. That weekend, I went to the hotel on the invitation. The party was lively. A pretty woman stood at the entrance holding a 1-month-old baby girl, greeting guests. She smiled at me.
You must be from my husband's office. His company really does hire all the pretty ones. Please come in.
Waves of shock crashed inside me. I looked at the baby in her arms. She was fair-skinned and clean. Her eyes and brows had a trace of Ethan. I kept my face blank and asked,
Where's Ethan? Ethan went to pick up my in-laws. They'll be here soon.
2 days ago, my in-laws had told me they booked a senior tour group and would be traveling for 2 weeks. I was worried their retirement savings wouldn't cover it. So I sent my mother-in-law $1,200 as a travel fund. All these years, I'd treated them like my own parents. I never thought they'd been lying to me, just like Ethan. Wendy didn't notice the storm brewing behind my eyes. She led me to the section reserved for Ethan's co-workers.
Man, Ethan's so lucky. Gorgeous wife, and now a daughter who's even prettier.
Several men and women chimed in.
Wendy, you made the right call. I'll admit I was a little worried when you quit your job to stay home.
6 years later, you and Ethan are still this happy.
And now you have a baby together. I'm so happy for you guys.
My nails digging into my palms. I realized that my marriage to Ethan was only 7 years old, and he'd been cheating on me with Wendy for over 6 of them. What's even more ridiculous, I'd had no idea. For 7 whole years, even this morning, he'd sent me his usual good morning kiss emoji and a text, thinking of you, babe. For the past 7 years, we had a good marriage. He'd never lost his temper with me. He told me his salary was $5,800 a month, kept only $150 for himself, and gave me the rest. He used his annual bonus to buy me a bracelet every year. A year ago, he talked to me about a relocation for work that would raise his monthly salary by $1,500. He said we needed to think about our son's future. After much thought, I agreed to let him relocate to a city 1,000 miles away. Now I saw that he was like night itself. I could no longer see him clearly at all.
Ethan's doing great. He's been top salesman for years. His base salary is $5,800, and he rakes in commissions every month.
I realized then that the salary he'd told me was only his base pay, and his commissions were used to support his other family.
Wendy, you really know how to handle your man. Tell me your secrets. How does Ethan listen to you and treat you so well?
I was curious too. I glanced at Wendy without changing my expression.
It's just that Ethan is a good guy. I'm lucky to have found him. Husband and wife need to understand each other. If you worried he might cheat, just keep control of the money. Ethan gives me his whole paycheck and only keeps $150 a month for cigarettes. And he uses his bonus to buy me a bracelet every year. You know what they say? Where his money goes, his heart follows.
He gave Wendy his bonus to buy bracelets. Then what had he been giving me? They chatted animatedly, completely oblivious to me standing there like an iceberg, silent, out of place, frozen. Wendy's phone rang. She smiled.
It's Ethan calling me. Here, hold her for a sec.
She casually placed the baby in my arms. The baby, light as a ball of cotton, lay quietly in my arms. She opened her bright eyes and didn't cry or fuss. I looked at her with complicated emotions. Even though I felt like falling apart, seeing this soft little creature, I pushed the emotions down. Wendy stood right next to me. Ethan's voice came clearly through the phone.
Babe, you just finished
postpartum recovery. Don't overdo it, okay?
I picked up Mom and Dad.
Don't worry.
I'm not tired. Take your time. Seriously, don't rush.
As soon as she hung up, a chorus of envious voices rose.
You two are so sweet. At the office, he texts you every single hour.
Wendy, you really found a good one. Even if every other guy cheated, Ethan never would.
I used to think Ethan was very attentive to me, calling and texting every day. even though the calls were short, under a minute. But I never suspected he was unfaithful. Work, family, the child, all the big and small things filled my time. He was also busy with work. I never imagined he was sharing every little detail of his life with another woman. I carried the baby and found an empty seat. I noticed the baby was wearing a custom silver bracelet. The charm was a star. I recognized it immediately. 7 years ago, when I first found out I was pregnant with twins, a boy and a girl, my mother had ordered a matching pair of silver bracelets from a jeweler, one with an angel charm, one with a star. She traveled 1,000 miles to an old church to have them blessed, but fate wasn't kind. There were complications during delivery, and only our son survived. I was devastated. The birth had damaged my uterus, and I could no longer have more children. Of the pair, the angel bracelet had been worn by my son from the day he was born. The star one I kept carefully locked in our home safe. Whenever I thought of the daughter I'd never held, I'd take out that bracelet and cry for a long time. My hands trembled as I touched the star pattern, and gently turned it over. Engraved on the back were the letters, Eleanor. That was my mother's name. I'd chosen it for my unborn daughter, to honor her.
My daughter's name is Eleanor. Ethan picked it.
Wendy walked over smiling, and sat down next to me.
He also had this bracelet custom made for her. You have no idea how much he loves having a daughter.
My heart shattered into tiny pieces. I forced myself to stay calm. He treats you well. Wendy smiled and chatted as if we were old friends.
You must be pretty new at the company. I used to know all the old employees.
After I left, Ethan told me they hired a lot of new people.
I gave an insincere.
The company treats people well, but there's a lot of travel. Ethan only stopped traveling this past year. He used to travel all the time. We'd barely see each other for weeks. But now we've made it through.
Bitter smile touched my lips. Yay. Before Ethan was relocated out of state a year ago, he used to travel about half of every month. I felt bad for him, always moving from city to city. So I never asked him to worry about anything at home. When his parents got sick, needed hospital stays, or required care, I never made him handle any of it. Even the intimacy between us had dwindled over the years, but I never complained. Now I understood. He'd never been on business trips. He'd been taking care of another home. Wendy showed no sign of taking the baby back. She got up from time to time to greet more friends and relatives. She looked at the baby, quiet and content in my arms, and said in surprise,
"My daughter really likes you. When I ask my friends to hold her, she always cries. You've been holding her for so long and she hasn't cried at all. It's amazing."
I said flatly.
Maybe it's because I have a kid too. I've had practice.
Well then, thanks for holding her. I need to go greet some new arrivals.
She was delighted and didn't stand on ceremony. I nodded. She walked off to greet the guests without a worry. I looked at the large banner hanging in the center of the room. It read, "Welcome, Eleanor." I felt as if my body had been filled with shards of glass. My son had never had a welcome party. At the time, the whole family was drowning in the pain of losing the other twin. Ethan had insisted we not hold a celebration. My parents disagreed. They thought a welcome party was an important milestone, but he refused, saying the grief of losing our daughter was too much. And now that he had a daughter, he was perfectly happy to throw a big celebration. I was the only one who still remembered the daughter who never got to be born. Suddenly, my mother-in-law called. I didn't hesitate. I answered.
"Jenna, did you see the text I sent you?"
Her voice sounded normal.
No.
My voice was as cold as ice.
"Are you at the supermarket or something?"
It's noisy.
"Go read my text. I can't hear you. Just message me back."
She hung up. I opened the messaging app. 20 minutes ago, she'd sent me, "Jenna, I need $3,000. Transfer it now. Don't ask questions." My fingers gripping the phone turned white. Blood rushed to my head. Not only had his whole family